In this video, we're going to revisit composition of functions and basically combine it with inverses. So let's call this this unit, or sort of this section, composition of functions, and let's call it part 2. All right. So let's start with just some basic functions. So here's an example. So I'm going to give you two functions. Let's say f of x is equal to 3x minus 1. And I have another function g of x, which is going to be 2x plus 3. Let's do some basic things. So first, let's just find the inverse of f of x and g of x. So this should be relatively straightforward. So how do we do this? Y is equal to 3x minus 1. We switch the x and y, so it's equal to 3y minus 1. And so y is equal to x plus 1 divided by 3. And then finally, f inverse of x is simply equal to x plus 1 divided by 3. And that's f inverse. Let's do B. Let's do G inverse. So G inverse of x. That's so that's what we're trying to find. I should use a different color. I think that'll be better. So we look over here for G. So y is equal to 2x plus 3. Let's switch x and y around. So x equals 2y plus 3. And if I can just do this in one step. So it's x minus 3 divided by 2. And therefore, my final answer is G inverse of x is simply equal to x minus 3 divided by 2. And there we go. That's my solution for G inverse. So not too complicated, but we're going to get into some harder stuff right about now. So let's do here C. C is, let's find f of G of x. So in order to do this, this is equal to f of G of x. And let's go back. What was G of x? Well, that's 2x plus 3. So it's going to be f of 2x plus 3. And that is equal to, well, let's see, what's f? 3x minus 1. So it's 3 times something minus 1. So then it's 2x plus 3. And if you expand that, is equal to 6x plus 9 minus 1. And that's equal to 6x plus 8. Again, nothing new over here. But in D, let's try something. Actually, no, I'll put D on a new page. So in D, what I want to cover is, let's do f of G inverse of x. So let's ask ourselves, what does this mean? So this means f of G inverse of x. The G inverse goes inside. It is what f is composed of. So the G inverse is equal to x minus 3 divided by 2. So this is going to be x minus 3 divided by 2. And we're going to plug this again, which is 3x minus 1. So it's 3. That's something. Has to be x minus. And if I extend the page a little bit, it's going to be 3x minus 9 minus 2 divided by 2. So our final answer will be 3x minus 11 divided by 2. So what I want to stress is that this is f of G inverse of x. In other words, G inverse goes inside here. Let me do something that looks similar, but is actually very different. So for E, let's do f of G inverse of x. So observe the differences here. Here, the negative 1 is, or the inverse is of the G function only, not of the f. inverse of 6x plus 8. So we know that f of x is equal to 6x plus 8. And this -1 says we have to find the inverse of this entire thing. So let's just do it as we did before. So y equals 6x plus 8. Let's find the inverse of this. So let's switch x and y. X is equal to 6y plus 8. So then y is equal to x minus 8. And so if I want f of g x minus 8 divided by 6. There we go. So note the key differences here. Here, we're doing f of g inverse, so g inverse of f of g itself. And let's see yourself. So here's f. What I want you to do, g of f inverse of x. Okay. So if you're at the stage, pause the video. What we're doing. And we found f of g inverse and the inverse of f of g. But we before we g of f of x is use yellow just to be consistent. So first we have to find g of f of x, which is equal to g of f of x, and f of x, let me just go back here, f of x was 3x minus 1, so this is 3x minus 1, and this goes into g. Let's see what g was again. It's 2x plus 3, so it's going to be 2 times something plus 3, and that something happens to be 3x minus 1, and if I do this, this will be 6x minus 2 plus 3, which is equal to 6x plus 1. So this is what g f of x is. What we're trying to do is the inverse of this function. So now the check x equals 1. Over. All right, I'll see you in the next video.